There's new Mega Pokemon in the Pokemon Legends ZA DLC. There's no abilities in this game, so we have no clue what abilities they would have, but since Champions is coming out in just a few months, I hope, they're guaranteed to get some kind of ability in that game. Today, I just want to predict what abilities the DLC Mega Pokemon will get based off their design, stats, and Pokedex entries. I got like 3 other videos ranking and discussing this sort of thing if you want to check out my thoughts on the other Mega Pokemon. But yeah, just leave a like, subscribe, do whatever if you enjoy, hype the video, become a member, all that. And you definitely want to subscribe, since at 300,000 subscribers, I'll be ranking every bench in Lumiose City. Let's begin. Alright, we gotta get this one out of the way as soon as possible because unfortunately, Mega Scovillain is seemingly a Mega Pokemon without a role. Like, it's just straight up outclassed by its base form due to the fact that base Scovillain has the same speed and the ability to hold items. Like, the 30-point boost to its offenses and 20-point boost to defenses makes it on paper better than the base form, but in practice way too similar. We gotta find an ability that actually makes this thing worth running. Let's take a look at this Pokedex entry to see if there's any hints that can help us out. Mega Evolution has dialed up this Pokemon's spiciness. It swings its necktie around to wall up its foes. Great. Yeah, man, let's just give it the ability Tie Whack. It's like Parental Bond, but it's just like a set 10 base damage since you get hit by a necktie. Alright, since that Pokedex entry is absolutely no help, I'm just gonna give it some kind of renamed Flower Gift-like ability, which would probably be for the best. If we gave it Drought, it would just be a worse Pokemon than Charizard Y, like, objectively. And Chlorophyll, as cool as it is, just makes it an itemless version of the base form. Flower Gift would grant it and its allies a 50% increase to their attack and special defense stats, making it so Scovillain and its allies not only hit hard, but comboed with that boost to its fire moves due to the sun, it just makes it incredibly powerful. Also, it'll just tank hits better, so that defense buff will actually mean something. Other than that, I got nothing, so let's just move on. This channel is partnered with Gamersupps. If you want to support my work and get great tasting drinks, you can order Gamersupps through my link in the description down below or with code Moxie boosted at checkout for 10% off. Gamersupps is a caffeinated product that I recommend only to my 18+ viewers, but my link will send you to their caffeine-free product section just in case. Every product purchased through my link supports my channel financially, so I'd really appreciate the support. Now back to the video. Mega Tatsugiri is kind of in the same boat as Mega Scovillain in that its base stats leave it outclassed by its base form with an item. If you want my full thoughts on all these Pokemon, you can just check out my ranking video on the DLC Mega Pokemon, by the way. But something I can guarantee is that there's no shot this thing keeps the ability Commander. We can verify this because Commander actually activates in Pokemon Legends ZA between Dondozo and Tatsugiri, but it won't activate if the Tatsugiri is Mega Evolved. Hey, here's something funny. Each form of Mega Tatsugiri has its own Pokedex entry. Reading them all together, we get, Tatsugiri's brain has been invigorated by Mega Evolution, making it even wilier. It can create and command copies of itself. It solidifies the energy of Mega Evolution, building up an overflowing pile to launch as projectiles. These projectiles explode on contact. Using the energy of Mega Evolution, it creates a dish to ride upon, allowing for it to move with total freedom even through the air. Now, the fact of the matter is that all 3 Tatsugiris are present in its Mega form, so everything stated here kinda has to be true no matter which form we start with. If those little things on its head explode, I think there's a shot that it would have the ability Mega Launcher. I mean, it's got access to 3 Pulse moves in Dragon Pulse, Dark Pulse, and Water Pulse, making it arguably a better Mega Launcher user than Mega Blastoise, which is kinda funny to be honest. We're gonna lock that one in. I mean, getting Stab on Dragon Pulse and Water Pulse on top of Mega Launcher will actually make it hit like a truck, so... Alright, I've had Mega Chimecho's ability called out since they revealed it. There's no shot it doesn't get some kind of sound-based ability. With stats like these and a steel typing, yeah, keeping Levitate would be kinda cool, but to be honest, I don't see the point in giving it Boom Burst if it can't use it super well. Its Pokedex entry states, it vibrates its entire body to attack in all directions using sound waves. Any who hear the vibrations get so confused that they forget who they are. So I'm thinking Mega Chimecho will get some kind of steel variant of the ability Liquid Voice, because a confusion-based ability would just be kinda lame. Liquid Voice turns all sound-based moves such as Psychic Noise, Hyper Voice, and Boom Burst into Water-type moves. If Chimecho got a Steel-type variant of this, it would have absurd offensive potential off of Boom Burst. I don't know, let's just call it like Metal Noise. The name Heavy Metal's taken already. Mega Meowstic is kind of a tough one to pick out since it becomes the same thing regardless of which form it starts out as. One has the ability Prankster, and the other one has the ability Competitive, so balancing its Mega around both of those can be a little bit awkward. Its Pokedex entry states, Mega Meowstic can use its psychic powers to compress or expand anything. It overwhelms foes by contorting space itself. So, expanding force, right? Yeah, I'm thinking it's just going to get Psychic Surge, which would seriously make this thing crazy strong. Getting full power expanding forces off rip would make it sort of a roll compressed version of Indeedee and Armarouge. And it would give it a reason to be used over Mega Delphox, which at the moment just straight up outclasses it stat-wise. Alright, I gotta explain some stuff regarding Mega Raichu X and Legend ZA for this prediction to make any sense, because I'm about to write some fanfiction. Okay, so Mega Raichu X's Pokedex entry states, it resembles an X as it flies through the air with 50 million volts of electricity sparking from its ears and forked tail. Also, it just refuses to touch the ground in-game. Like, I can't get this thing to touch the ground. So, levitate, right? Well, maybe not. Mega Raichu X has a passive that no other Pokemon in the game has, where using Volt Tackle will also give it a boost to its attack stat after the move goes off. So its ability would have to have something to do with that, I think. I'm just going to call it Pika Power, and say that this ability grants it a ground immunity while also giving that effect to all of its Volt Tackles. Kind of like it's a superhero, considering the way it looks when it flies. Meanwhile, Mega Raichu Y's Pokedex entry says, it fires bolts of electricity from the tip of its tail and from the spiky tufts of fur growing out of its temples. This electricity forms the letter Y. I don't know. That doesn't really give me any leads, to be honest. I'm thinking that it's just going to get like Electric Surge to set terrain. I mean, it's for the best if more Pokemon got that ability, because that makes the ability available if Pokemon like Pincurchin or Tapu Koko aren't in a format. So like, yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you have any better ideas for this one. Moving on. On the website describing Mega Lucario Z before the DLC came out, they just straight up lied and said that Mega Lucario Z was a defensive Pokemon. Looking at its stats, that just isn't true, at least as far as ZA combat is concerned. But maybe that matters when it comes to its ability. Its Pokedex entry states that, by completely cloaking itself in its aura, Mega Lucario Z can parry all manner of attacks, battling as if it were gracefully dancing. So, in my humble opinion, I think it's going to get some kind of renamed version of the ability Fluffy. Fluffy just halves the damage done to the Pokemon by contact moves, but also grants it a fire weakness, though I don't think that would also carry over. This would just make sense as its ability to parry attacks would be reflected by contact moves just dealing less damage overall. That being said, all of the Z Mega Pokemon have a special mechanic in ZA, where the Mega lasts half as long in battles, but moves come out much quicker. I'd like to believe that this is just reflected by the fact that they all have 151 base speed, but there is a shot that they all get the same ability, like Quick Draw or Speed Boost. But I really doubt that, as that would make them all very samey and hard to pick over the other. I just needed to note the possibility. Okay, they still haven't revealed what the last Z Mega is, and I don't want my video getting taken down in case they find out I talked about it. So I'm not going to name it or show it, but you can just ask the comments what it is. That being said, I have no clue what could save this thing other than the ability Dragon's Maw, because it would at least make it so Dragon Pulses deal substantial damage off of these stats. But if I had another guess, I would think that Inner Focus would go a long way to make it viable in doubles, as now it could use that 130 base attack without fearing Intimidate, but more importantly, it could use its high speed and special attack stat to deal massive damage with Draco Meteor on turn 1 and not have to worry about Fake Out. But yeah, I've got no clue, bro. I'm just making this video because roughly 250,000 people care about my opinion on a children's video game. That physics degree is really collecting dust. Mega Absol... It's getting Tough Claws. It's getting Tough Claws, right? I mean, the Pokedex entry literally says, using fur that it's made into sharp claw-like shapes, it cuts down foes with a single blow. This is an act of kindness to keep them from suffering. Like, that's just Tough Claws. It could be Sharpness, but that would kind of suck. Tough Claws is just objectively better. You get a 30% boost to all contact moves, meaning Sucker Punch, Phantom Force, Knockoff, and all of Absol's other best moves get a huge passive buff to them. Real easy choice here. I think it's practically guaranteed, in fact. Big Bird. Mega Staraptor's Pokedex entry states, Mega Staraptor is a top-class flyer. It can easily soar through the sky while gripping a Steelix that weighs more than 880 pounds. Alright, so that entry doesn't really hint to an ability so much as it makes me mad that they removed the move Skydrop from the game. That being said, I don't feel like guessing Tough Claws twice in a row, so let's do something kind of crazy. Staraptor already has the ability Intimidate in its base form, and we know that when Tyranitar Mega evolves, its ability Sandstream reactivates. So something that can make a Mega Staraptor really crazy is giving it Intimidate as well, so that when you send it out, it would get an Intimidate, and then when you Mega Evolve, you get another Intimidate on demand. Some might say that this would make it broken, but I'd say just use a special attacker, dude. Mega Glimmora is yet another Mega Evolution outclassed by its base form with an item, and its biggest flaw is the fact that it's out-damaged by base Glimmora with a Power Herb and Meteor Beam, as the immediate special attack boost lets it almost guarantee an OHKO once per game. So we need to give Mega Glimmora something to compete with this. Unfortunately, its Pokédex entry states, Glimmora's petals, now larger and separated from its main body, rotate around it to provide defense while scattering poisonous fragments. So, like, it's getting toxic debris again, just like its base form, unfortunately. But if we want to do something kind of crazy and let it be a strong pick, let's just activate fanfiction mode here. I think that calling back to its connection to terastallization would be kind of sick. Terra Shell, the ability of Terapagos, would do wonders for it, as it would now be able to get meteor beams off by simply surviving the first attack through taking half damage at full HP. It complements its new bulk and speed as well, and you would only need to look at Dragonite to know just how powerful an ability that halves damage at full health can be. Mega Golurk's Pokédex entry states, the energy within Golurk has been stimulated by Mega Evolution. This Pokemon could explode at any moment. Me too, dude. I just haven't felt the same since they kicked LaShawn off of Total Drama Island. I could blow up at any minute too. I make Pokemon videos to deal with the rage. Look, Mega Golurk's new stats already make it a powerful pick, as it's able to deal massive damage off of moves like High Horsepower and Poltergeist. So I think an ability like Power Spot could make it a great team player. Power Spot doesn't affect Golurk at all, but giving all allies a free Life Orb boost as long as Golurk is on the field could make Mega Golurk a huge threat in VGC matches. I mean, the energy is literally bursting from within. Why can't Chi-Yu have a little bit, you know, as a treat? I don't care about Mega Zeraora. You can't make me care about this industry plant of a Pokemon. Like, are they all industry plants because they're all made by, you know, the industry? Yeah, but I feel like Mega Zeraora didn't really earn that movie, you know? Its Pokédex entry says it stores up to 10 lightning strikes worth of electricity. When it stops limiting itself, it's in the strongest class of electric Pokemon. So, I don't know. Electromorphosis? You know, the Belly Bolt ability. Let's just move on.
Watch them run.
Okay, so I know Mega Darkrai got a total rework with its stats, making it a super bulky offensive Pokemon, but I'm not sure if it really wants an ability other than Bad Dreams. Bad Dreams already causes sleeping Pokemon to take chip damage at the end of each turn as long as Darkrai's on the field. That's already an incredible ability. Its Pokédex entry states, its dark power blocks out the sun, plunging the surrounding area into darkness. There is no escaping its evil eye. So, I don't know. Maybe Dark Aura? That'd give all of its dark type attacks a nice little extra bit of oomph behind them, but realistically speaking, I think Bad Dreams just still makes much more sense. Mega Heatran stat-wise is stupid broken. Nothing should be this bulky and have 175 special attack. That's just irresponsible. That being said, I'd still take a Shukaberry Heatran over this any day just because it's faster and doesn't drop to a single ground type attack. So we need to find an ability that thematically fits it while making it worth running. Its Pokédex entry states, it's said that if it goes all out, it can heat its body temperature over 1.8 million degrees Fahrenheit. This heat keeps enemies at bay. This, unfortunately, sounds like Flame Body, which kind of sucks, and giving it the ability Earth Eater just seems broken, as if it didn't have that ground weakness. I'm not sure what you could do to beat it reliably. I think that there's a solid shot that instead of Flame Body, it could just get the ability Drought, making it another busted Sunsetter and causing it to be just an absurdly powerful Pokemon on Trick Room compositions, due to its heat waves hitting about as hard as mathematically possible before rolling over and just dealing 0 damage. Much like, well, almost all the DLC Mega Pokemon, Baxcalibur needs an ability that lets it do something that its base form can't, as its base form is able to run Clear Amulet to Swords Dance Sweep or Loaded Dice to make sure its Icicle Spears and Scale Shots deal massive damage. Mega Baxcalibur's Pokedex entry states, Baxcalibur's dorsal blade has grown even more massive thanks to Mega Evolution. This Pokemon fires beams from the hilt of its solar plexus. That doesn't exactly help much. To be honest, its speed stat staying the same is its real downfall, as it can't really outperform its base forms in most situations and isn't super worth running because the cost of the Mega is just a little bit too much. It needs to bring something to the table that its base form can't. So let's just go with Snow Warning. I mean, base Baxcalibur is already stated to be able to breathe air cold enough to freeze opponents, so I don't see why a Mega Evolved form couldn't cool its whole environment. This would also let it have a huge buff to its defense stat as an Ice type in Snow, and let it remove Sun in the matchup against Drought users. This would probably leave Bax with a nice niche in competitive play. I regret to inform you that Mega Crabominable runs like a gorilla, and the only other frozen gorilla in this game has the ability Gorilla Tactics. So, don't get me wrong, I hope it gets Hyper Cutter. You know, it could be Intimidate immune and then be great in VGC, but it's looking like it's just going to get the 50% attack boost and move lock from Gorilla Tactics. It just makes too much sense. The Pokedex says it can pulverize reinforced concrete with a light swing of its fists, each of which is covered in a thick layer of ice. That's Gorilla tier strength, dude, I'm sorry. Please, 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 please get Mega Golisopod Shell Armor. Please, 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 I'm trying to do something. Shell Armor blocking crits would mean that Mega Golisopod walls out both Urshifu forms and always wins the 1v1. And while Water Bubble would be crazy because it just cuts the fire weakness in half, they're not giving it that ability. You're stupid if you think they'd give it that ability. It doesn't make any sense. I need this guy to be VGC relevant for at least one season so I can make a second run at the World Championships with it. I'm tired of using the snail. He's my channel's logo, for God's sake. Just give me this one W. Mega Magearna frankly doesn't deserve another ability. I don't care. It already has Soul Heart in its base form, and it's got, like, what, 175 special attack stat now? 170? I don't know. I didn't check. It's just too high. Just give it Slow Start when it Mega Evolves. I don't want to see this thing within a 200-mile radius of a competitive Pokemon tournament. What, do you want me to give, like, a real prediction? Because I'm not going to give a real prediction with Mega Magearna. It doesn't need an ability to be broken. It's already broken. Nothing I can say or do can keep this Pokemon from being banned and nothing goes. Anyways, those are my thoughts on the new DLC Megas and what abilities I think they'll get. Sort of a rapid fire video, but these are just my gut reactions based off their designs and Pokedex entries. Let me know what you think in the comment section below and suggest what abilities you think they'd get down there. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Check out my Patreon page or become a YouTube channel member. By doing either one of those, you'll get access to my exclusive Discord server where we team build and I even run tournaments. Lots of fun stuff there. There's also a playlist on screen of more videos that I've made that you can check out to support me. With that, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.